dry for the most part of the week.
Yeah, and we're going to stay dry as we continue through the rest of this week into the weekend. So very sunny conditions are back into the forecast, but that also brings a bit of a warm up. Temperatures this morning nice and mild. We're talking about the mid 60s here across the Metroplex. As we continue through the day, conditions will climb. So we're talking about temperatures for the high today right around 92 degrees. So as you get those kids ready for school, make sure that they're dressed for the warmth. It's going to heat up 92 once again, the Metroplex, but off for our western counties, that's where we could see temperatures top out in the mid to upper 90s today. Plenty of sunshine and winds out from the southeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. But the warm up starts today, and we'll continue to see temperatures climb tomorrow, 95 degrees and sunny. And then by the time Friday rolls around 96 degrees, mostly sunny skies. If you're sneezing a lot, well, this is probably why. We have high allergens in the atmosphere. Around 10.8 is the pollen count today, and that's going to be staying consistent through the rest of the week. We're talking chinnapods, elms, and ragweed in the atmosphere as of right now if you're sneezing a lot. But I'll get into the rest of the forecast details coming up in just a few minutes, guys. Okay, really warm as we continue into this afternoon, and warmer than where we sat yesterday. Even this morning's a little bit warmer. We're talking about temperatures around 66 degrees as you head out the door. Still feels nice as you walk out the door to go to school, or maybe you're going to work this morning, nice and cool. However, that's not going to be the case later on this afternoon. We're talking about high temperature topping out right around 92 degrees. So those kids going to practice, whether it's band or whether it's football practice, make sure they're drinking plenty of water. It'll be a hot one today, but also in the next couple of days as well. Now, I'm tracking temperatures continuing to climb back into the 80s by lunchtime. And then as we work our way into the afternoon, that's when we see the high of the day around 92, sitting a couple degrees above what we typically see for this time of the year. Those of us towards the west, high temperatures will be even more higher. We're talking about 95 degrees in Mineral Wells. And good morning to you, Breckenridge. Your high temperature for the day around 97 degrees. It will be very hot outside as we make our way into the afternoon. Air quality alert in effect as well. Ozone Action Day here across North Texas. What this means is we have stagnant air, and that's promoting high ozone levels. If you have any respiratory or heart-related illnesses, it is advised to limit your outdoor exposure through the day today. Limit your outdoor exposure as well if you have high allergies or if you're allergic to chinnapods, elm, or ragweed. Those pollutants are high not only today but over the next several days, so something I'm also tracking and keeping an eye out for. I want to show you the infrared satellite imagery right here. So what this shows us is the cloud tops and where some of the precipitation is happening in the bright purples that you're seeing, but also in the drier regions, which is happening across the desert southwest. You can see it's more clear there, and into southern Texas, that's drier air filtering in the region. So basically what's happening here is we have a ridge of high pressure dominating in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's bringing on the heat and the dry condition. Here, exactly what's happening. Here's the water vapor imagery. You can see a little bit of clouds in the sky through those wider shades, but all of the dark here is indicating that dry air in the area. And we're going to continue to see that over the next several days. There's that ridge I was talking about dominating in the forecast. It'll continue to shift off to the east over the next 24 to 48 hours. And so as it does that, it'll continue to build the heat in the next couple of days, even though the past couple of days have been below average. Yesterday's high temperature only got to 87 degrees. We're likely to see a 5-degree temperature difference into this afternoon at 92. 95 by Thursday, even warming up to 96 by Friday. So a hot forecast is back in store. As you walk out the door right now at 66 degrees, but a little bit later on, temperatures will be climbing. We're talking about a high temperature around 92 as we move into this afternoon. But lunchtime, we're talking about temperatures back into into the lower 80s. And then the high for the day will top out in the 90s. This is warmer than where we sat yesterday. High temperature typically for this time of the year is around 90 degrees, so a couple degrees above average for our western counties. Even 97 is where we could be reaching today into Breckenridge. It will be sunny though, but stagnant air will just hang around the surface, and that's why we have an ozone action day in effect here across North Texas. If you have any heart, lung related illnesses, then you need to make sure you're limiting your time outdoors. That's also the case if you're allergic to any of the allergens and pollutants in the atmosphere today. 92 once again is your high today. Good morning to you. 95 as we move into the day tomorrow. I'm tracking a big ridge of high pressure that continues to dominate in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so temperatures climb as we move into the weekend. I'll dive into the rest of the forecast details coming up.